Good morning, everyone. This is your friend Jarrett Brown. I hope you are well, and if that is true, then I'm glad. Uh, I'm going to take a few minutes to share with you a lot of thoughts, hopefully in a very quick way, um, to explain more about what I've already said and to share some ideas that I have that I think are important. Um, so I explained on Facebook that very early on Saturday morning, a little after 12 a.m., I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I had um, a seizure, a real bad headache, and I realized after that I was having a seizure, and I was taken to the hospital, and even though it's less than like 2 blocks away, I had to have the EMTs drive me there. Um, and they got me there quickly, and they took good care of me, as you would expect, because that's what those people do for a living. And I'm very appreciative of them. But when I got to the hospital, um, they realized that there was a problem pretty quickly, and they ran some tests, CAT scan, the MRI, and the MRI showed them that there was something in my brain that's not supposed to be there, and that's a tumor that's about a quarter, maybe a little larger in diameter, and about the size of a small candy bar in length. Um, and that's large, that's big. And it's been there for a very long time, up to 10 years, and now it's causing problems. So we're, we're more aware that it's there because of um, the problems that it's causing. But this is not a post about my medical condition or even about me. But what I want to talk about is what I hope that you can do um, for me in a sense, but more importantly, for everyone else. Because tomorrow, um, most likely tomorrow, I'm going to have a surgery, and a very smart, talented doctor is going to remove this candy bar size tumor from my head. But there are risks that come with that. It has to be done because he told me that you have choices, but you don't have options. He said we have to get this thing out, and if we don't, you're going to die. So when he said that, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of thinking that went into it other than this has to be done. But when he does this, the tumor is kind of connected to the rest of the brain a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, and it's connected in really important ways that could affect me. So he has to do this very carefully, which is going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take his skills of his hands and his brain to do this. But there's a slight chance that, although I don't think that I'm going to die, I could die, but I don't think I'm going to die, that when he removes this tumor, it could affect my brain. So I could lose the ability to think critically, to think analytically, and to speak. And anyone who knows me knows that that is what I do. That is what makes me me. I observe everything that's happening in the world, everything that's happening around me. I think about it. I come up with ideas, and then I share them. And I might not be able to do that anymore. And I don't want your pity because I have a plan, at least an initial plan for what I'm going to do. I have my insurance. I have a little bit of money. I have people who have said that no matter what happens, they're going to help me. So if I'm just stuck in a chair, they're going to help me eat applesauce or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to be able to live. Maybe not well, but I'll be able to live. Be able to breathe. I'll be able to sit there and I'll have my eyes open and all this stuff. But if I do lose the ability to communicate, then I'll lose my ability to advocate for other people and to try to solve problems and make things better for those people and for everyone else. And so they won't have me, but I won't have the opportunities to give what I am of myself to them, which is important to me in a way. It helps me realize my potential and do what I can do as one single human being for everyone else. So what I hope that you'll do is not to give me money, not to give me your pity, not to tell me how great I am and about all the things that I've done and how much you love me and like me. Although those things are appreciated, they are, and I love hearing all the good things about myself, and I think most of them are true. That's not what I need you to do. What I need you to do, if I lose my ability to think and to speak powerfully and forcefully, as I have for 38 years, even before I could talk, I was speaking. In a sense, I was sharing my ideas and my emotions very loudly. My mother, in my baby book, she wrote about it. So I know it's been happening my whole life. But what you can do is to stand up for other people. And you don't have to do it the exact same way that I've done. You don't have to do it for the exact same groups of people that I've done it for and done it with. But just do it. When you see someone who is not being treated fairly, through no fault of their own, find out what's going on, find out what you can do, and say something. Try to make the situation more fair. Because in our world with 8 billion people, we all have rights. We all have ways that we should be treated. And we all deserve a certain level of treatment from every other person in the world. And when people aren't treated fairly, especially people who are weak or they're unable to speak for themselves or they don't realize what is happening to them, they need someone else to stand up for them and to be their voice and to try to make things right for them. So there's so many issues in our world, right? And on each side of every issue are at least two different viewpoints. And a lot of times we say one is right and the other is wrong. And that may appear true, but a lot of times there's just opposing interest. So it's not that one side is right and one side is wrong, one side is good and one side is bad. It's just that there's different viewpoints. But still, you need people on both sides to be pushing for what is best for them in order to get somewhere in the middle. And usually in the middle is where fairness lies. So it's not one side getting exactly what they want and the other side getting exactly what they want. It's usually has to be some sort of compromise, has to have something worked out that works for everyone, because at the end of the day we all have to live together and we need something that everybody can live with. But that conclusion won't be possible unless both sides push in the beginning and we get to that center, to that compromising place. And shit, we get to that compromising place where we can find solutions. And so, what I hope you understood from that is that other people need you. Even if you're not a person like me who is involved in all the political issues and all the other issues of the day and likes to speak about those things, if you see someone who is vulnerable or weak or who doesn't have a voice, um, stand up for them and help them in whichever way that you can, in whichever way that you feel comfortable with. You don't have to drop everything that you're doing and give your whole life to it. But for example, if you're at the Walmart and you see a lady who's double parked and there's people yelling at her, say, hey, wait a second. Yes, she's double parked. Yes, she's not supposed to be double parked. But don't talk to her like that. Don't treat her like that. Help her. Uh, get her the help she needs. If she needs a ride home from someone because maybe she shouldn't be driving, well, help her get a ride home. Help her get the help she needs. Help her get her groceries or whatever the case may be, and let her get back home and get on with her life. Or if you see someone being mistreated because of where they're from or what religion they are or what race or their ethnicity or if they're part of the LGBTQ community or whatever, even if you don't, you're not familiar with that group of people, or you're not comfortable even with that group of people, that group of people is still deserving of respect. They're deserving of being treated fairly, and if you see them being mistreated, you should say, hey, wait a second. It's not okay for you to treat them that way. You don't have to like them. You don't even have to love them. But you should treat them fairly because they're human beings too, and they have rights too, and you should let them live, and you should let them be the way that they are and have the best life that they can have for themselves. And or if you see, like for me, when I see workers being mistreated, people who are just trying to give their effort so that they can get some money and then come home and buy groceries and have health care and pay their Netflix fee so they can watch a movie or whatever the case. When they're mistreated by their employers and they're not given what they're supposed to be given for the effort that they have given, the blood, sweat, and tears, then I stand up for that because I think for what they give, they should get whatever they're supposed to get. And so that's why I've done that, because I think what they give is something of value, so that they should get something of value in return. But there's so many different other ways, and I'm not going to try to explain all the different ways that you can stand up for people, because I think you can see that on your own, and you can decide what needs to be done. But I hope that you will find a way, whatever that is, to do that as it happens. Because hopefully you'll live a long time, and unfortunately you're probably going to see a lot of people being mistreated, but I hope that you will find ways to help them. And so I hope that, after tomorrow we have this surgery and I have a nice proof of surgery on there, a nice cut that's sewn up with tender love and care by some professional, and I got a nice scar, and I can show it off and tell the story, and I can talk about it, and I can be victorious and all this. But if that's not true, if the last time you hear my voice is today, I hope that you'll remember what I said, because I have really good intentions with this. There's 8 billion people in this world, right? And I don't know all of them. I don't even know very many of them. I know a lot of people, but in the big scheme of things, I don't know a large percentage when you consider that there's 8 billion people. But I do know that even the people that I don't know um, are, are worthy, and that they should have a good life, and that they should be treated a certain way. And that's why I've always done what I've tried to do throughout my life. And sometimes, because of my personality and my vigor and my strength, sometimes it doesn't come out as um, well as it should. But it's always been with good intention, because um, I've always done what I thought was moral and what was ethical, and I was trying to push for what was right. And so I hope you'll do that too, in as I've said, whatever way is good for you. But I have had a lot of difficulties in my life. Some of them were not caused by me, and some of them were. And I've overcome a lot of those things, and I'm always going to continue trying to overcome any obstacle that is in front of me if I can. Um, but I've had a good life, I think, so far, because um, I've tried to look around me, and I've tried to see beauty, and there is a lot of beauty, because this is a beautiful world. Not just physically, the mountains and the beaches and stuff, trees, but the people. Um, there are a lot of good things. Even now, when every time you turn on the news, you have to grab your heart, because everything is so stressful, and everything seems so bad, and it seems like everything is coming to your doorstep and is a threat to you. There's a lot of beautiful things in this world, and that's because the people of the world are beautiful people. Um, so um, I'm going to bring my sermon to an end, but I hope that my words will stay with you, and that you'll keep being the good person that you are, and that you'll keep doing the good things that you've always done. And I hope that you know that even if I don't know you personally, and I don't have a personal relationship with you, um, that I love you, because you're another person, and all people deserve to be loved, in a sense. Thank you, and have a good day.